G'day guys, this one I've left in the beginning process. All I'm using in this particular layout, I'm using the Kaisercraft Paisley Days sticker book, and I've had this one for a while, so this is one of those things where I bought a heap of stickers, I bought a heap of sticker pads because I was going through that phase, and to be honest, they have been sitting on my shelf and I haven't used them. So I decided that I'd have a bit of a play with them. Now, I started the process in my mind, I wanted to go with sort of, you know, the stickers going across the page to sort of build a horizontal layout. My brain just went completely blank. You know, I've had a busy weekend, right? So that's where my brain was going. Then I realized, you know what? Just about face, put your photos down, see if this is what you really want. See if this is the look you're really going for. So I put the photos together, and these photos are of Angela when she was little. She was talking to her doll, and she was trying to get her doll to sit up and do what she wanted it to do. And guess what? It's a doll. It's not going to do that. So she was getting super uber duper frustrated. And it was one of those moments where I took the photo purely and simply because I thought, really? This needs to be documented. You know, from a scrapping perspective, it needs to be documented. Now, I came in with my brush. I've left this in specifically to show you that I changed my mind too. I changed my mind a lot during the process of scrapbooking a layout. Sometimes it comes to me easily and sometimes it does not. So I started off with a little bit of fossilized amber, and then I thought I'll bring in a little bit of wild honey, and then I realized, you know what, I don't really want to do the ink blending thing. I sort of kept going for a little bit here and then realized, no, I think I want to smoosh. Smoosh, I don't know if that's what you want to call it, but when you put the ink onto, see, it's not coming together. It was not happening. Although I am looking at it at the moment and there's a nice heart in the middle, but that's not really where I was going. I didn't really want the colors to be like that. So I went, let's go the smooshing. Let's, and I'm happier with that edge. That's what I wanted. So this particular layout, I really like the very end of it. Like once it all comes together, once I did this bit and realized that it was that's the edge I wanted, I didn't want the blended edge, then I was really happy with it. Now this technique is where, because the Distress Oxide inks are water reactive, you can sprinkle water on it and you can take away and create a negative with your splats. So instead of your splats being of color, you're making your splats the negative where you're removing the color. So I haven't done that in a while. It's been a while. So I thought, you know what, maybe that will work on this layout. And I really liked how it looked. So I really like that. I know it looks like a big mess, but I really like that full-blown color in the background. Now, what I decided to do to make my job easier, because sometimes, and this is my tip during this layout, okay, this particular, when you go to a sticker book, you quite often get overwhelmed because there's just keep flipping the pages to just trying to familiarize yourself with every single thing in there. A really good tip, grab yourself a piece of wax paper, or if you don't have waxed paper, any of your anything you can put a sticker on and peel it back off. So completely your call. This is just wax paper, and all I did was pulled out everything that I thought would go with this background and this theme. It doesn't mean when you pull out the sticker book you're going to use everything, but just pull out a few things that you like the look of. So I'm just cutting off the edge of the flowers because I do that, whether it's ephemera or what it is, I do that because I don't like the really chunky white edge on it. So I don't mind the chunky edge on the green flowers and the green stems. I don't mind it on that, but on the big bold flowers, I think it makes them look a bit too cartoony. So, and sometimes I like that look, don't get me wrong. And I really do like this particular lot of florals. Like, I really do like them, and that's why I bought the paper pad. But because it's been hidden in, in my craft room, I've got a cupboard. So obviously it's a bedroom and it's got a built-in cupboard. And in that built-in cupboard, I've put some shelves. So I just went to Super Cheap and bought some shelves, and they were just your metal ones that you put in your shed if you want, you know. And they work for me. They hold so much weight, which is fantastic, because scrapbooking can be quite a heavy situation. That sort of sounds funny, but yeah. So, and my sticker books are in the cupboard basically, and I don't use them very much. I sort of, because I've grown scrapbook wise, I've grown more into ephemera and cut files and all that sort of stuff. I've sort of gone that direction, but it doesn't mean that I don't love my stickers. I just don't use them as much. So I just wanted to make a concerted effort to pull these guys out and use them, and maybe use a little bit of foam tape or a foam dot here and there just to lift them up and give a little bit of depth. But I tell you what I did do, a little bit of a squirrel note here. On the weekend, I sat down, and if you're on the Facebook group, you already know this, but I sat down and I put all of my layouts for the last 6 months in albums, because usually what I do, this is my process, right? So I scrap. I usually plan a little bit so that I don't get in here in the craft room and sort of start flailing and waste time. But I sort of plan it, and I create my own sketches, if that makes sense. I create the direction I want a page to go. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's a rigid thing. I don't put these sketches out there because they're just me with a pencil, sort of thinking about the photos and thinking about the different... I'm opening plastic containers, if you can hear a clicking, by the way. I bought some new bling, so I want to separate them into different containers. So I'm opening those while I'm talking to you, because I always have to do something with my hands. Now, back to my squirrel. So now I've forgotten my squirrel. Oh man, that was going somewhere too. Damn it. I'll try and remember it before we get to the very end. Now I am okay, so the title that I'm using here, I've pulled out 2 words. Happy. The reason I use the 2 words is because that way it sort of balances both sections and gives your eye somewhere to sit and stop. So can I just say, I love that yellow in the background. I love how it just is like a massive splodge of bright yellow. I absolutely love it. Love, love, love it. So yes, where am I going now? Oh, I'm sticking in. These are my die cuts that I create with my, it's called Tall Branches. That's the name of the die that I use for these little white sprigs that are, look, I think they look like sprigs, but they're called tall branches. I think the brand is Peonies. I bought them forever ago, and they're just perfect because they're not really anything. They're a sprig of something, but they're not really anything, if that makes sense. So you can just tuck them in to your... I think this needed... The stickers were great, but it just needed a little bit of something neutral to tie both the top end and the bottom, like, all together. Now, normally when I create my little pencil drawing of which way I'm going, This particular pencil drawing, I actually had it going straight across the center, but organically your pages come together as you're working on them. They're not necessarily something that is hardwired. I think I do, and I, like you, I watch other scrapbookers and different channels, different, you know, get different ideas from different people. Maybe I might be having a funk. Maybe it just might be, I like the, you know what, I actually listen to some YouTubers purely because I like the sound of their voice. I know, a little quirky, but you know, here in Australia, I like, see these plastic containers? That's what I was just opening, but it's an empty container. So I picked up these ones. I was watching a lady, and her name is, I can't remember her name now, but I was watching a lady the other day, and she had these little tiny metallic, well, they're not metal, they're reflective. They're not metallic as such, they're reflective. And I saw them and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and buy those. And I actually, for the very first time in all this time that I've been a consumer of YouTube and a creator on YouTube, I actually used somebody else's link. Can you believe that? I actually used a link. So, cost me the same price. It doesn't cost you any more if you use the link. It just helps the channel creator to be able to maybe earn a little bit to pay off a little bit of their product that they use, and that's super helpful too. And that's why, and I explain, well, actually I've got a lot of new subscribers, so I'll actually explain this. Back in December, and if you have a look on my Facebook group, you can see the video, it's there. I monetized my channel, but I've only partially monetized it. And I said that for the next 12 months, I'm only going to leave it partially monetized to see if that can give me a little bit of income to help buy more materials so that I can continue to create at least 6 layouts a week and keep it interesting, because you want to, like this particular sticker pad, not everyone will have seen it. It's from Kaisercraft. I bought it ages ago, but they probably still have, if not this one, they'll have another one that's very similar. And to be honest with you, I absolutely love it. I love how it turned out. Now, these little bits of bling that I'm putting on here, this particular one that I'm just sprinkling everywhere, that is actually a Shimmers Paints Summer Sunshine. It's called Summer and Sunshine, and it is sequins. It's a sequins mix, and I actually got that one from Kaisercraft Obsession. I think they had it, and I don't use a lot of sequins. I love the look of it, but I have always struggled with sequins itself. Whether you put it, which way do you put yours? Do you use sequins, and which way do you put yours? Do you make it like it's like a cereal bowl with the sides sticking up the side, like you could put cereal in it? Or do you put it the other way up so it's like a dome? I know that sounds so crazy. I usually put them like a cereal bowl. That way I feel it sort of collects and reflects the most light. But let me know below what you think, which way you use yours, and do we do it differently? Do I do it wrong? Am I doing it wrong? Is that my problem? But yeah, the Shimmers sequins mix, they are stunning. I do have a couple of them, and I did go back, if you go and have a look at the photos, I did go back into another sequin mix, and it had some little flowers in it. And I went through and just popped a couple of them, and they're in a blue color. So if you're looking at the photos over on the Facebook group or on Instagram, you will know that there's, oh, where did they come from? That's where they came from. And I did that right at the very end. It was only after I turned the camera off and I was already loading the video up that I thought, hang on a minute, I could have used some of those. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? If I add 1 or 2 little things afterwards. So I'm just going around with my, this is my fine gel. It's a Uniball Signo pen, but it's a gel grip pen. I don't even know where it is at the moment. Oh, it's out in the lounge room. And it's just super fine line. I'm going through adding a little bit of liquid pearls. This one is white opal, and just to add some more reflection and shimmer, because I just find the shimmer, it makes it come alive a little bit. Now these are just flat stickers. I haven't curled them up. I didn't go for all the dimension and crazy. I did put some of those little bits of bling in the center. They're just black, so it just helps make the center a little bit more black. And here is the layout, guys. Let me know what you think, and let me know, which way do you do your sequins? Do you do them that way or do you do them the other way? I'm not sure. And yeah, if you're getting value from my videos, please smash that like button for me. You can subscribe if you'd like to subscribe, and or hit the notification bell so you know whenever I post a video. And thank you so much for watching. I will chat to you later. Bye for now, guys.